Hello, YouTube. Hey guys, Sean here with Chally Channel, just coming to you. Doing a little video, a different video today, just doing a response to Think Blue 77's 100 subscriber challenge response. First of all, want to congratulate him for getting over 100 subscribers. Job well done. If you haven't been to his channel, check it out. He has some great input, really cool cards he likes to collect. Part of his challenge is giving a shout out to another channel with under 100 subscribers. So I want to give a shout out to the channel Brewz86, and that's BREWZ 86. That's another channel. It's up and coming. He's close to 100 subscribers right now. He has some really good videos. So if you get a chance, go check out his channel and watch the videos and leave him some comments and show him some love. Also wanted to give a shout out back to Bob Lewis for my shout out he gave to me in his video in response to Think Blue 77's challenge. So thank you, Bob Lewis, for that. Let's get into it. The challenge was kind of to show off some cards that had very rare or very neat oddities, I guess you would say, in the hobby that we all collect. So first of all, I'll show 4 cards here I've shown in other videos that I think are really neat, and they're kind of oddball cards for baseball. So this Bo Jackson here, when I was young, this was a really cool card, you know, with the football pads and the baseball. And Bo was a beast. So this is one card that, like I said, I've shown in other videos, but it's a very oddball kind of card for baseball, but it's very cool. Bo was a 2-player sport guy, was a stud in both sports, left the league, and with an injury, he dislocated his hip in a football game and never was quite right after that. Next up, you've seen this card I've shown in other videos. This is the Lee Smith rookie card. 1982 tops. This card I thought was, I don't know, this card cracks me up. It's just the look on his face, that gaze. It's almost like a dreamy gaze, and it just kind of makes me laugh every time I see this card. Another one that's been in other videos I've talked about in the past is this Jim Cosman Randy Bob rookie card from 1970. This one I think is hilarious. I think is funny just because the guy's name Randy Bob. For me, I don't really go after the kind of weird cards usually that have like just neat or odd things in the image, but more the names. If guys have funny names, I tend to collect those cards just because it's something I do with my daughter. We like to go through the cards and read and see if we can come across guys that have kind of goofy names that make us laugh, and it's just something we do together. So here's another card that you guys have seen in other videos. This card is extremely famous. It's the Bill Ripken FF Error, the Fleer. This card is definitely super famous, so all you guys are probably pretty aware of that. So then we'll get into some other cards that I thought were kind of neat, the oddities. First up is this A. Bartlett Giamatti. This is actually Paul Giamatti, the actor's father. He was commissioner for like 6 months in MLB, and then was president for a couple years. But I thought this card was pretty neat, just knowing that, you know, he had a short term as commissioner, but having such a famous son that's an actor. After that is this card to Craig McMurtry. This card cracks me up just because this guy does not look like a professional baseball player. This guy looks like he would be auditing your taxes. So it kind of cracks me up, but just a fun one to have. Next up after that is the Whitey Herzog. This one cracks me up. His name, I mean, it's just an oddball name, but also there's 2 cards back to back here. After that is this Don Zimmer. And both of these kind of crack me up because it's like in that era of how much chewing tobacco can you shove in your cheeks. And obviously you have to take a picture of this Whitey card is definitely not the best picture this guy could have taken, or the Don Zimmer, but to me, this is kind of the iconic Don Zimmer baseball card. That's how he looked in the dugout every game, and just mouthful to chew. After that, I've got 3 cards here that I thought were odd, and I think are neat, and I like to collect these. These are when you have pitchers batting. Very rarely do you see these guys on a card batting. So you have Greg Maddux, one of the greatest pitchers to ever play the game. With his bunt stance here, Greg definitely was not a very good hitter. So this is pretty iconic to me as a Cubs fan, just knowing that's how you usually saw him if he did bat. After that is the Randy Johnson, just showing the skill once again as a pitcher bats. Not very good at holding on to it, but a pretty neat card as well. And then third was this Jim Abbott batting, which, to be honest, I never knew Jim Abbott to bat. If you can see here, Jim Abbott was a pitcher that only had one hand. He was born without his right hand. So it was kind of eerie. This card kind of freaks my daughter out a little bit, but it's pretty neat to see the pitchers doing the batting back in the 90s, where being a hitting pitcher really wasn't too big of a thing. Next up after that is this Jim Leyland from 86 Topps. I think this card's iconic for the mid to early 80s, late 70s Pirates with their hats. They had some of the goofiest hats I've ever seen. Some people love these hats. To me, I don't quite get it, but it was their thing. So I guess party on with that. Next up is this Don Mattingly sliding, holding the base, or not sliding, I'm sorry, he was tagging the base and fell. But it was just kind of an iconic card to me. You know, Don Mattingly playing the first base with the splits here. This kind of sums up the early 90s, late 80s, and the kind of poses they put on baseball cards. So thought that was a pretty cool card. After that, I have this 1990 Topps Sandy Alomar. This card I think is funny just because of his face. It's a look of confusion, kind of got that poop face going. Not real sure what's happening there, but I just thought that card was kind of funny. And the next oddity is this John Kruk with the sweat all over his hat, kind of looking like the John Daly of baseball. John Kruk always kind of reminded me of that. He typically had a big wad of chew in his mouth. Just kind of was a great player, but kind of slobbish, I'd say. When you saw him play, he just definitely reminded me of like John Daly. If you've ever watched John Daly play golf, he just, looked like he drank a 12-pack before he came out on the field. The next one is this Upper Deck, the Kid, the reunion. This is Ken Griffey Jr., and it's like a cartoon card. I'm not real sure. I've never really read the back of this card, to be honest with you, of what was going on there. But it's just kind of an odd baseball card and kind of goofy. But I thought it was kind of neat and kind of comic bookish when I was a kid growing up. I was definitely big into comic books as well, so anything that kind of had comic book art was pretty cool, and it being Ken Griffey Jr. and the stud he turned out to be, so that was definitely cool. And another one is this Donruss Diamond King Albert Bell, and this one it's all in the face and the stance, just how like it looks like I'm mean, I'm tough, I'm a bad mamma jam, and I don't like what's going through a guy's thought to have this, or going through his thoughts to have this look, and all that tightness going on at the plate. So thought those were funny. And then one that's just kind of an oddball I picked up online is this reprint card, just a fun card. It was supposed to be a 1952 Mantle card, but obviously it's been photoshopped with Donald Trump's face and his signature here with New York. Just thought this was a pretty cool and neat card, just funny. Don't know what your politics are either or. I just thought this was a neat card and kind of funny, and sorry about that, guys. Had a phone call, forgot to put my phone in airplane mode when making this video. So anyways, just whether going back to whether you like Donald Trump or not, to me, I just thought this was kind of neat. Him being from New York, kind of being known as the Titan of New York. I thought it was really neat. It has an image on the back, but I don't know if it's a good image for YouTube, so I won't post that. But again, guys, that's my response. Thank you to ThinkBlue77 for making the video. Congratulations on getting to 100 subscribers. Thanks again to Bob Lewis for the shout out. His channel is really cool. He's got some really cool stuff and videos. Check his channel out as well, and also make sure to check out Bruise86. He's a upcoming channel. Got some good content there, good cards, so check those out, and guys, have a great day.